Welcome to the ValueFacturing SMEs podcast series, a production by the European Digital SME Alliance in collaboration with Fondazione Adapt and Adapt as part of the ValueFacturing SMEs, fostering SMEs' competitiveness in manufacturing global value chains through social dialogue project, co-funded by the European Union.
Today's episode is titled Global Value Chains Unveiled. What are we talking about? I'm Jamie Nuttall and we'll be unpacking the role and structure of global value chains and their relationship with business. Let's dive in. Global value chains, abbreviated as GVCs, are a varied system of operations, transactions and relationships established between enterprises located in different parts of the world. They produce goods through the transformation of raw materials into intermediary inputs, modules, semi-finished products, and ultimately finished products ready for the global market. A system distributing tasks across a global network of firms rather than relying on a company single-handedly handling the whole production process. This concept gained immense traction during the 1990s thanks to globalization and rapid tech advancement when firms invested massive resources for an increased competitive edge. In almost 40 years of development, GVCs have helped companies break down the streamlined process into segments, allowing them to rely on partners located across multiple countries. To break it down, raw materials extracted in one place might be sourced to one country, transformed into components in another, assembled elsewhere to finally find their place on global markets. Today, according to recent data from the World Bank, GVCs account for approximately half of global trade as they have revolutionized the core structure of all industries, particularly manufacturing, where competition is fierce and cost pressure is high. But why are GVCs so important? To start, they allow firms to operate in a more flexible and efficient way, as they can easily access specialized labor, materials, and expertise on a global scale. However, as positive as this may seem, these benefits come with significant challenges. There is a fundamental division between what we define as producer-driven and buyer-driven GVC. On one hand, in producer-driven chains, production is capital-intensive and controlled by a lead firm handling critical tasks, such as the assembly of high-tech components, a common procedure in the automotive industry. On the other, buyer-driven chains are led by companies contracting suppliers, often in low-cost regions, to carry out labor-intensive tasks like manufacturing garments. A series of economic practices that brings its own set of ethical considerations. With the widespread adoption of GVCs, opportunities and risks have emerged not just for corporations and big tech, but also for smaller players. For instance, for manufacturing small and medium-sized enterprises, GVCs represent easy access to global markets and partnerships that would otherwise be out of reach. Via GVCs, SMEs can connect with larger companies, tap into international markets, and benefit from knowledge and innovation exchange. But on the flip side, the cost-cutting pressures relegate small companies to highly competitive and low-margin segments where they can be easily replaced. This condition creates vulnerabilities as SMEs face extraordinary power imbalances when dealing with larger clients. To stay competitive in the market, they are often forced to lower prices, cut labour costs, and comply with tight production deadlines, inevitably affecting working conditions. Small firms may have to take on temporary labour or outsource tasks to locations with minimal protections, leading to ethical concerns over workers' rights. This leads us to the concept of decent work. Decent work refers to the right to fair wages, safe working conditions, and job security. While GVCs offer growth and employment opportunities, they also turn certain job segments into a race to the bottom of labour standards. This is exactly where social dialogue and collective bargaining come into play. By engaging workers, employers and governments in meaningful discussions, we can create standards and frameworks to ensure GVCs benefit everyone involved. Social dialogue is crucial in addressing the complexities of global value chains. It is a tool balancing the benefits of participating with the protection and recognition of workers' rights and welfare. It is through social dialogue that SMEs can work with trade unions, government agencies and business associations to establish fair labour practices and mitigate the risk of exploitation. Effective collective bargaining provides SMEs with the leverage to secure fair contracts, manage labour costs and retain skilled workers, ultimately leading to sustainable and inclusive growth. This also tackles the digital transformation process. With rapid tech advancements, the need for digital skills and infrastructure is critical. Digitalization can empower SMEs, streamlining their operations, opening new markets, and help them innovate. Nevertheless, it is a revolution that bears its costs, as many SMEs face limited resources, digital skills gaps, and inadequate technological access. A digital divide exacerbating existing inequalities. SMEs can also struggle with access to finance, a crucial feature for competing in global markets. In most cases, SMEs lack sufficient capital or face higher interest rates due to equivalent perceived risks. Without adequate financing, it is difficult to invest in innovation, digital tools, or workers' training schemes. In short, SMEs need a strong support framework to overcome multiple hurdles. So where does ValueFacturing SMEs come into this picture? This project highlights how social dialogue can serve as a key driver for SMEs to overcome the challenges of participating in GVCs. Through collaboration with the European Digital SME Alliance, Fondazione Adapt and Adapt, this initiative strengthens SMEs' competitiveness while valuing the respect for workers' rights and fostering innovation. That wraps up today's introduction to global value chains. Thank you for tuning in to ValueFacturing SMEs podcast series. If you found this episode insightful, do not miss the next one, as we will explore how SMEs can leverage social dialogue to build resilience and promote fair labour practices in GVCs. Until next time.